So I think even from the first moment there of listening to your accent, because the dulcet tones coming through there are absolutely beautiful. But viewers will be surprised to know that there's not a London twang there. That was actually an accent that you put on for the character of Spike.
Yes, I have a fabulous California accent naturally, and the London one I had to learn slowly. It got better. It wasn't actually very good, I don't think, in the very beginning in season 2. And Tony Head tutored me by force. I embarrassed him. I mispronounced bullocks. Oh, can we say that in the AM in Ireland?
We'll pretend. We'll pretend like it was the other thing. Yeah.
So sorry. I mispronounced that word.
Could you feel the pressure? Because you said there, Anthony Head, was the pressure on because obviously he has like the draw of the English twang. Did you feel the pressure there with being in with him?
Oh yes, because he came up to me and he said, we don't say it like that, you prat. You're embarrassing me back home. I'm going to help you now. And he would not even knock. He would come into my trailer when the new script came out, and we'd go over all of my lines until he was satisfied. It was very kind, but very forceful.
That is some serious bit of vocal coaching there. We have to talk about Spike and him arriving into Buffy because by its nature, a vampire, well, they should be ugly. So, well, let's face it, Spike definitely wasn't that because he was part of all of our growing up. Had a weird affiliation and liking vampires. He was supposed to be evil and then he was supposed to be gone. So when you booked originally for Buffy, did you think, like, I'll get 1 episode, 2 episodes? What did the contract look like? And did you think Spike had, which is weird to say for a vampire, such a long life?
Yes, they said that I was going to last for 5 to 10 episodes. The point of the season was that Angel and Buffy get together, so to speak, in the biblical sense, and then Angel goes evil and kills me and takes up with Drusilla so that Buffy can get her heart broken. And so I was told that I was definitely going to die. And if I did well, it would be closer to 10. And if I didn't do so well, it'd be closer to 5. So initially, I was just trying to last a few extra episodes.
And the pressure of something like that, especially living the LA life and trying to keep that moving. Was it hard when they throw the curveballs at you with things like period dramas, musical episodes, silent episodes? Because Buffy was kind of the first of its kind because, there was such a mad hype when they used to do something that was so off the wall, so out of the box. Did you know what was going to be thrown at you next?
Never. But it was just a wonderful smorgasbord for me. I had done theater and had done comedy and drama and modern and Shakespeare, Moliere and farce and all different styles. And I thought that I was coming down to Los Angeles to do a television show, which was going to be boring but was going to pay well. And I found myself on a show that was kind of like doing repertory theater. Like you never knew which style you're going to be playing week to week, or even scene to scene within an episode. It was just marvelous.
I suppose it was kind of like your training. You trained at Juilliard, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the training every day. You're kind of going to be playing a different character in a different role every style with Buffy.
Yeah. Or take the same character and then play it as if he's in a Chekhov play, and then do it as if he's in an O'Neill play, and everything in between. And really, I mean, when the writing is that good, you really just let it carry you. Honestly, it's much more work to try to make mediocre writing be something worthwhile, or worth watching. It's just much easier just to let the writing make you look good.
Speaking of which, James, in terms of Buffy, obviously it was iconic, but I'm interested to see from the time of you starting to film it going to air and how quickly you're recognisable, because it's iconic and Spike became iconic quite quickly. How did that translate to your day-to-day? Because obviously with Sarah Michelle Gellar everywhere she went, and then you quickly fell into that from our view, but from your view, what did it look like?
I was kind of a neon bulb because I had the white hair, and so anyone walking on the street looking at me, you kind of ask yourself, who's the freak, and if you stare long enough, you answer the question, oh, he's the freak I saw on television. And so very quickly it became hard to kind of walk around. Pretty quickly, I used to count for 10 seconds. Uh, I could only stop on the sidewalk for 10 seconds before a crowd formed.
Wow.
Oh, my
Uh,
goodness.
so, and it was, I just didn't go outside a lot, I'll be honest.
Well, you probably couldn't because you were supposed to be this pale character and you were living in LA and you were supposed to be like this pale character of Spike. So, you know, it worked well. Listen, talk to me about the reunion that happened quite recently. What was that like to kind of get back together after such a mad period of time and to see each other and to, you know, be in each other's company?
It was refreshing because we were all well rested. We'd never hung out together when we'd had any sleep. We shot Buffy. We worked about 18 to 20 hours a day, and so we were just massively tired and fairly stressed out. You know, trying to live up to these great scripts and make what was really good television. The pressure was enormous, and just to be able to hang out with people when the pressure was really low and everyone had many full nights sleep. It was kind of like day camp. I remember most of all. I just remember talking to Seth Green. He's a great person, and we didn't intersect that much on the show, and so we didn't really have a lot of time on the set to get to know each other. So a lot of that day for me was just hanging out with Seth.
And we have to talk, we can't have you here without talking about something very close to our heart here in Ireland. Of course, P.S. I Love You. And your role in that. What was it like? We talked about accents. Did the Gerard Butler Irish accent, was there not a moment to kind of go, here, look, listen to me, do this a bit better?
No, I didn't. No, I learned something, or I think I did, which is that the big stars, and that was the only project I've worked on with like multiple Academy Award winning actors. They're so nice. They're so humble. They're so hardworking. They're so grateful. I remember talking to Kathy Bates about this, and she said, when you're on the A-list, you're working with A-list producers, and they can work with anyone. So the way that you get on the A-list is you're easy to work with. You're a nice person. And I remember Gerard Butler. We played best friends on the movie, and we only had one scene together. And he sat down at the bar that we were shooting at. And he introduced himself and he said, all right, we've got 20 minutes to become best friends. And he looked at his watch and he spent 10 minutes telling me every horrible thing that he ever did in his life, like really, really bad things and embarrassing things and only things that only a really good friend would know. And after 10 minutes, he glanced at his watch and he said, okay, your turn.
Oh.
And so I had to tell him all of my dirty laundry. And sure enough, after 20 minutes, we knew each other really well.
That's the way to make a BFF, James. Before you go, I have to ask you about Cameo, because I heard your name come up a couple of weeks ago when they were talking about the top stars of Cameo. You are hot Cameo property.
Okay.
I say that as a mother in my generation.
Yeah, I found people wanted to have Spike sing them happy birthday, and at first I was like, well, I don't know, I'm not really Spike. Is that honest to do? And then I finally realized, this is an opportunity to just go back and play Spike. I guess I just get to play Spike for 2 to 3 minutes at a time for individuals. It's a hoot. It's wonderful. And I have a lot of fun.
And really quickly before I let you go, if there was a revival happening, would you do it?
Well, there was a revival being talked about. The thing is that I think it was very smart. It was going to be a new Slayer for a new generation, not a new Buffy and a new Spike. Okay. And I thought that was a really good idea. The pandemic, I think, sidelined it, so they're having to get that back together.
But we might get it. We might get it very soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Fingers crossed.
I would think that I would like Spike to be the new Watcher, and just have him be horrible to her. Just uncompromising and rude.
And flip the script completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. James, thank you so much for joining us on Ireland AM this morning. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's really fun, man.
Thank you.
Good morning.